Talking B site, you know what I'm thinking. Jenko.
Jenko and Pulse towards the B site, a staple of Method's CT play on this map. But nevertheless, they won't be starting on the CT side, instead it's going to be EnVyUs winning the knife, and then choosing to start on that CT side. Petisco now the support player from the EnVyUs side, buying double flashbang kit, which means he might flash towards B platform and get information for his team. Usually see a smoke and a diffuser. Whenever someone buys 2 flashbangs on the pistol, they know, well, on the CT side, you know they have something in plan.
Someone to watch out for definitely into a map like Cobblestone as well. That CT side for EnVyUs is Hajj. He can be unruly. Lambert is the one to kick it off though, as he will take down Weber with a swift attack.
Exactly. Flash already coming into play. Weber turning for that one, expecting the play, but unfortunately couldn't really find the frag. A woman advantage already for the side of EnVyUs, as here comes the B split.
They push their way through. The flashbang does go over to at least delay the push that's coming in. It's keeping the T's at bay for now. Lambert allowed to just roam around. VKL as well comes in, takes down Stanley. They have a massive deficit into this round. Method are pushing, but so staggered. One by one, they are facing in unfavorable angles at the wrong time. And EnVyUs have a clean sweep to kick it off.
A one-sided pistol there. There's 5 players stay alive for the CT side after the pistol round. So, right then, you saw the kit, double flashbang. You know there's something suspicious there. Something's going to happen. Flashes towards platform. Lambert finds the first frag and has all the information he needs towards the B platform. That's why we saw the rotation leave towards B. They left Petisco and Lambert towards the B site, and they stacked 3 on A because Lambert saw no one else towards B platform. But luckily for them, Lambert and Petisco stepped up. Let's see if Hadji can do the same.
Oh, this is risky, but it could be high reward, but it's not going to happen. He gambled, but he does not get the big win. Jenko shuts him down. Nilzinho as well comes in, and they start to get this in the favor of Method.
Petisco now, fast rotation coming out from him. Has the 2-man disadvantage right now. So 2 early frags go in favor of Method. Towards the default site, Petisco reloading goes down as well. And so does VKL. It's going to be 1 player staying alive. 1 versus 5. It's Jax.
Yeah, you do not want to arm Method as well. They had armor that was pre-bought. They looked ready. They were beefy boys, but they found themselves some baseball bats nods, and that has given them an absolute gang to work with. They've run straight through. They've hit EnVyUs in the head, and they've taken control of the site.
Exactly that. No kit as well. So we'll be saving this one for the next round. 5 players staying alive for the CT side. Can we see the money, please, real quick? Sliggy, just for a second. So no, they are fully reset after this round. They will be forced onto CZs, UMPs, and whatnot. It's round number 3.
Oh, Jax actually does take 2 of them down. They didn't have the scavenge weapons on their person, though. They will just take 9s that have been tossed asunder, and he is able to get out of there. But this is pretty good. That Famous could be a lifeline into the next round.
Disposable guns drop there from the T side. Nothing really too crazy. No AK. Ooh, 10 HP for him and was filled to his death there. But nevertheless, it's going to be 1-1 as Method do force it back.
Yep, not going to be too happy into the next round. Pulled his hamstrings. He's going to be limping around the house.
He will indeed. So, after the force buys 1 for Method, should be seeing a counter force by 1 for the CT side here, EnVyUs Academy. We saw them win with pistols in the previous map. It's going to be the MP9 bought again for Hadji. 2 CZs for Lambert and VKL. The shotgun, the pump shotgun coming out from Petisco towards drop, and then Jax with the FAMAS a save and fly around. Versus them will be the 2 SMG setup and a 3. Oh, actually it's an M4 there, so make it 2 AKs, 1 M4. In a sense, 3 rifles, 2 SMGs for the T side right now. Stanley and Weber going to be the key players to stack up as much cash as possible as we go into round number 3. They need to win clean versus the force buy and force an eco to come up from EnVyUs and use that eco round to get as much money as possible.
The thing is, though, Method have a massive range advantage into this round. EnVyUs' weapons aren't going to be that effective from the distance they're currently playing at because Method have just bypassed them. They've taken the rough road straight through mid.
They have indeed. And actually, it's going to be the retake coming out from the CT side. They have no kits, lack of utility, near impossible round for them to win, especially after the first fight goes in favor of Method.
Yep, Stanley takes down Lambert in Mortal Kombat, and they're hungry for more as well. Hadji will be able to strike and find 1, but Weber will, of course, swiftly trade it back as he swimmingly takes the fight. Jenko chimes in to take down Jax. It's on Petty Skill and VKL, and it seems like they have decided, hold on to the Famous, back out of there. VKL has got armor CZ. What is the point in throwing these away for free?
Exactly that. You can drop over the FAMAS to VKL into the next round, your eco round, because he has Kevlar. But as you just said it there, it's going to be the force round lost for EnVyUs. And now Method will finally have an advantage into this one as they go 2-1 up. And they will be playing a Granted versus the eco round coming up from EnVyUs.
Thing is, though, a Method's eco round just going to be a freak of nature, or will they actually have some kind of method into their following rounds that will allow them to keep it going?
Potentially. I mean, it really does depend what you want to do. You usually see fast plays on the anti-ecos on Cobblestone. Rushes through mid, you smoke off Matrix, you flash in through mid, you run up through that mid ramp and you find frags towards the A side. Exactly what they did in the previous round as well versus the force by. The same works versus an eco. In a sense, you rush mid, you have the long range duels from mid towards default, towards APC, towards under balcony. and you have the range advantage, and that's how you take the round. So, 2-1 right now, as Method finally have advantage into this best of 2. It's going to be the Pistols and the Eco coming out from Team EnVyUs, and as I said before, VKO has dropped the FAMAS as he has Kevlar, and actually no, drops it back to Jax, so fairly strange play there. Jax will go towards that B site as well, so it's not as if he's going to have the headshot angle. Obviously, if you are playing a headshot angle, you only expose your head, so not having Kevlar doesn't really make too much of a difference into the round.
Method right now, taking that slow approach once again. They're in pretty good standing so far into this. Obviously, EnVyUs is basically the same scenario, so rinse and repeat of what we saw into the previous round. They get safe passage up through mid. The only difference factor is the smokes are being utilized this time. EnVyUs actually had a bit more investment in terms of utility, so a big delay has come out.
Exactly that. Still though, it's going to be the mid play coming out from Method. You got one player there, Weber lurking towards that inside outside drop. Spots the first player, finds the second as well, and then Xenia finds 2 frags for his team and turns it into a 5 versus 3.
VKL's position could actually be a massive nuisance if it's not cleared carefully. Stanley, luckily enough, will take the good stance. He clears it smartly, but he will be overpowered. Pulse finds the headshot. They now have to react off the back of this as well. Sprinting towards the bomb site. It's Jax and Pettiscale here, just trying to do as much damage as possible against the T's, but the elevated angle means nothing when you're up against Pulse.
So, 3-1 is the scoreline now as another buy will come in. So far, we haven't actually seen a 4-buy versus a 4-buy into this cobblestone map. We've seen 4 spies galore go back and forth. Weber right now laying down the law, saying, look, one player.
Odds.
Yeah? There you go.
I
One word.
Jaws.
One word.
Movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Jaws. Shark.
Yeah, that's an easy one to do. Anyway, though, he's going to be saying one lurk player. And who will be that lurk player? Will it be him towards the B side of the map? Or will it be someone else towards A? And actually, it will be that one lurk player, Jenko, holding from behind. Apart from that, they're going to take control of B platform. Jax here close towards that smoke. First frag nearly going in favor of the Method side.
Oh, you would have thought that would have done it as well. The slam dunk from Pulse, but unfortunately he misses. It doesn't hit the net, and it just rolls off into the crowd.
Exactly that. So, 4 players from the Method side now slowly grouping in towards mid. Pettiscale low HP towards drop area. And right now it's down to Haji once again. Close proximity, but is alone. And quickly is Lambert on the retreat.
This time around, Haji's arm to the teeth as well. M4 has been donned by the man. He knows how to wield it. That's a hat trick as he just... brutality finds these frags, works his way through so swiftly, leaving them with a massive deficit on the side of Method. Lambert as well chimes in as he takes down Jenko. It's all left on Weber. He's out of position. He has recovered the bomb snods, but all he has is a UMP to his name.
Exactly that. No utility as well, just Kevlar helmet and a UMP in a dream. 1 versus 5. The best case scenario for him is to try and take 1 or 2 guns out of the CT economy. That's what? $5,000 worth of investment gone instantly if you can find those kills. Plus he has the SMG, so it's $1,200 into his bank account. So Pettiscale low towards the window. Here's the drop, and Jax will find that frag. 5 players staying alive after the first buy round, which means their money is now building.
Building up, they're getting themselves into a manageable spot to at least try and do some damage here. Look at this though, the Haji play that was just huge. Such a powerful position when he can find such swift headshots. He was the difference maker. Every time we've seen them play on Cobblestone, Haji is such an impactful factor.
What's the thing as well is typically on that A site you do group together, right? You'll usually see Lambert, the Orpa, and Pettiscale playing together. Instead, Lambert was holding Matrix and Haji was alone towards A long, and still 1 versus 3. Found all 3 kills and puts us into round number 6. EnVyUs 5 alive in the previous round, which means Method, even if they take this one, make it 4-2. EnVyUs can still buy up into round number 7. Anyway though, bomb, outside drop, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. It's going to be Neil Jr. looking towards the A site. Haji now playing, oh actually it's Lambert, sorry, playing the aggressive angle towards long. Slowly but surely they'll be falling back. VKLs came to join them as well. It's going to be a 3-man stack towards the A site. As I say that though, Pulse finds the first. 5 versus 4, a fast rotate now from VKL towards drop.
Flashes are going to come out right now. Just tapping off a few pot shots here and there, making their presence known. Planting the seeds are down in the mind of EnVyUs. They have the 1-man advantage, and they've got drop-down control here. The split play towards the site needs to be perfect. Has to go off without a hitch.
Exactly that. Flash in VK's hand. Flashes towards platform. Pettiscale takes his peek, spots Pulse, but doesn't see the bomb just yet, so we won't be seeing an over-rotation coming up from the CT side. Haji alone towards A. Neil Xenia could be lurking through mid as well. Could cause... oh no, he's gone back towards the bomb. He's going to retrieve the bomb, bring it back towards the B site, and they're going to be splitting towards B.
They just have to try and burst their way through, playing contact rather than using the utility they have. They flash over once, then charge their way through. They're getting the opening frags though. They take the advantage. 2 men left on the CT side. Make that 1. It's all on Haji. We've hyped him up, but all of a sudden he's left in a situation, dropped into the ocean with no life ring at all, and he's sinking.
Exactly that. Doesn't want to drink the water as well. It's full of salt. And right now the comms might be as well thinking, how on earth have we let that one slip as it goes to 4-2. Method taking round number 6. So, right now, EnVyUs, they still have money to buy up into the next one, I think. Can we see the money again, please, Leaky, real quick? 2,200 plus 1 point. Yeah, okay, so they can still buy up into this one just about. I mean, they're going to have about 3,600, so it's so important right now that Haji saves this, because if he saves this, he can drop over another M4, and that could cause for a 3 M4 buy. But we'll find out.
Just doing some vandalism right now.
Exactly
Breaks
that.
the glass. Who's going to pay for that?
This is going to put that one on the bill.
On the invoice.
On tab. On the invoice, yeah. 29 days. Anyway, Eugenio chuckling away as it goes into round number 7. So, what is the buy going to be like on the EnVyUs side? Are they going to force back into this one and try to break the money from Method? They've had bomb plants in both rounds, which means the money should be decent. Jenko on your screen, the recent re-addition to Method. Obviously, was in the team before. Then he got kicked, and then he drawn back. Anyway, there's going to be the 5 AK set run out from Method. No AWP into play onto Eugenio so far. Instead, they're talking about AWPs. It's going to be in Lambert's hands as he peeks towards mid.
We'll try and go for the information play early, but the flashbang keeps him at bay, and he actually can't retreat as well. Struggling there, but eventually does get out.
So, the buy coming out from EnVyUs right now is the Mag 7 onto Petisco, UMP onto VKL, 2 rifles as well onto Haji, and Jackson the AWP onto Lambert once again. The utility is fairly strong onto 2 of the players, then again, the Lambert just has the AWP and Kevlar, VKL, and just a flashbang. So, longer this round goes on, Method will slowly, slightly have the advantage on utility.
Molotov starting to rain through the air right now, forcing the CTs out of their effective angles. Petisco, though, if he plays his cards right here, works his way back through window into late round with the Mag 7, could be a massive thorn in their side.
Exactly. Timing in favour of Pulse there. Was thinking about peek towards the platform, spots his shoulder, and actually finds the first frag for his team. 5 versus 4 right now. EnVyUs, whenever they have the advantage, it seems like they always close it out. And right now, Jack's retaking drop could make it even bigger.
Is he going to be able to pick up a juicy frag here, or Stanley stunt the growth of their round? And actually, he does fall. Jax does damage. Lambert chimes in as well as he takes down Jenko. Weber and Eugenio are hoping to at least do something, but even that is not manageable. Jax finds another headshot. Eugenio is left. Can the in-game leader himself start to lead by example? It seems like no, it's going to be the answer.
So, once again, it's going to be 5 players staying alive for the CT side. The money keeps building round after round. Seems like whenever you give EnVyUs Academy the advantage, they take an arm and a leg from that. They're so good at slowing the round down. They play off of the advantage. You saw what happened there, right? Even though Jax was retaking control of drop, Petisco was with them as well. They play the trade game. Even if Stanley found that first kill towards Electric, Petisco would have came behind him and found another frag as well. They always play the trade game. They're always together. The spacing is so tight. They don't allow themselves to give up the advantage when they have it. And it seems like every single round they have the one-man kill or the entry frag on their favour from be it Lambert's AWP or Jack's aggression or Haji's aggression. They always seem to close it out swillingly. So, round number 8 now. It's going to be the Tech 9 onto 2 of the T players, UMP onto Weber, and then 2 AKs to fill out the rest of the buy. What can they really do in this scenario?
Jump face towards mid, and they actually do get in unscathed at this point. Jack spots it out, but the only thing he can do is drop the smoke to attempt to burn time if they're going to go for a late round mid push and fall back and stay alive.
Exactly that. 3 players rotating into the CT side towards the A side. Good call from them, as they're currently versus and right up against 4 of the Method side. Jenko towards mid. Might get good timing in towards Jax in case one of these players dies towards A long.
Flashbang goes down here, VKL goes for the wide face, but they play it right. Eugenio peeks out, not only does he get away with 1 kill, he doubles it up as well as he starts to do absolute damage. Jenko also comes into effect. It's just left on Petisco and Lambert, and this has got to be the save.
Yep, Team EnVyUs right now throwing in the towel. 5 versus 2. They have the AWP onto Lambert, and they will have money to buy up into the next round, round number 9. So they're going to cut their losses, allow Method to get to 5. So far so good for Method on Cobblestone. They lose the pistol. They win the force by, they make it 1-1. Then we saw the force by 1 for EnVyUs. And then again for Method, it was 2-2. And once the buy rounds have come out now, Method have taken 3 in a row potentially, putting themselves onto 5.
Petisco and Lambert hoping to get out of this one with their weapons intact. But you can see the T's are actually hunting them. Not really going to overextend and risk it, but they were actively searching.
Yeah, I mean, Weber right now with the UMP, he can hunt. Obviously, if you die, give away an ump. Not really the end of the world for your economy. But then again, right, speaking of economy, how is their buy going to look? They're going to get 1.4k, so they will be able to buy up into this one. 5,000 on, so they can drop 1 M4. Oh, luckily for them, Petisco has 3,100 on the dot, so he can drop over an M4 barely. But he won't be able to buy up any minutes.
that lack of utility as well is going to be such an impactful factor, because you need those smokes to just burn through so much time to actually keep the T's at bay. If you don't have those smokes to play with, that is where you're going to start to...
The smokes are really important as well towards B platform. You want to have a string of smokes. The longer you smoke B platform, the longer you have control of that portion of the map, it's so easy to hold off an execute. If you're there towards cubby, towards stairs, it makes it so much harder for the T's to push out once they do execute. But anyway, speaking of playing aggressive, Lambert peeks from crack towards the back of B plan. Doesn't spot anyone just yet. And right now the bomb is outside drop. It's going to be another default coming out from the T side. Jenko spotting, see if anyone will push through the, well, push B plant basically, and Lambert is doing just that. Smokes out the back of it. Smokes off the back of it, sorry. And now, because he has control of B platform alone, you're going to see a rotation come out from Jax. You can see him already retreating back from Electric, from that B site, coming back to join the rest of his team towards the A site. It's going to be a 3-man stack here towards A from Team EnVyUs. Could be a good read.
Flashbang starts to go out. Molotov's in play as well, so they can clear these angles. Very slow, methodical approach coming out from Method here, as they will go for this late round play. Still clearing their angles and trying to decide what they actually do want to bring to the table here.
Exactly that. Lambert has complete control of B platform right now. If Method don't flash off the angle, they could be seeing themselves with a one-man disadvantage. Drop being taken as well by Peterskel, has the shotgun. So Jenko might be meeting his doom.
They do force Lambert out of position, have to fall back towards Coop at this point, and they are going to go for this burst down, try and take control of that A-bomb site with a split push through, but they need to recover the bomb as well, so it is going to be staggered. Peterskel gets information, but the majority of this round relies on Jax doing work, which he will strike, finds one kill, but the instant trade comes back in. VKL, meanwhile, takes down Pulse as well. Jenko, they should be aware of him just quickly sprinting off. Peterskel knows what is occurring, but can't quite react. Left in a free versus 2. Jenko goes huge. That kill into VKL is vital, but they need to get the bomb plant now.
I think they're going to get it. They will indeed. 1.5 seconds left. They'll get the bomb down in this 2 versus 2. CT towards balcony now has to be fast.
Yep, they have to try and react instantaneously. Jenko finds that frag. It's all left on Lambert. Or he has to use it like a shotgun, and he knows how to do so. Takes down Jenko, left in the 1 versus 1. Nilzinho trying to stay alive. Crab walks round, but he finds the kill. We'll get the defuse to boot. And EnVyUs come up huge in the clutch.
Exactly that. Huge play there from Lambert, and a huge round to win as well. They invest everything they had into that round. If they'd lost that 6-3 in favor of Method, an eco coming out from EnVyUs, that could have been a 7-3 scoreline, but instead the 1 versus 2 comes out from Lambert, uses the AWP like a shotgun, and that grants them round number 4, and this game becomes ever so closer. So, going to be going into round number 10 now. Method winning continuous rounds in a row means their money should be in a stable position, but saying that you never know. But yeah, 3,000 onto Weber still, 2,000 onto Nilzinho and Jenko, so they can even bump into the next one if it does go 5-5. But nevertheless, though, it's going to be 5 AKs for the T side onto Method, and it's going to be once again Peterskel bringing out the Mag 7, AWP onto Lambert, and rifles, including a FAMAS, finishing off the rest of the buy from Team EnVyUs. So, Lambert again, money doesn't quite go deep enough, will have control of B platform, which is so pivotal for your CT defense. If you have control of platform with the AWP, it means you can rotate that, well, from here in this scenario, you can rotate 2 players, VKL and Jax. You can see them already stomping back towards the A site. There's going to be a 3-man stack again onto A from Team EnVyUs, and that could be a deciding factor.
Are starting to roll through at this point, transferring small amounts of splash damage to all the EnVyUs players. They are staggered ever so slightly, forced to fall back and link together. They have a good setup though towards that A-bomb site. Crossfires can be put in play at this point as well, as the smokes are down, giving them time to calibrate themselves.
Exactly that. So, T's have control of long. They can send their smokes away and they're going to be smoking off connector. And now Haji here close towards A long. Flash comes in. Actually, it's a good re-smoke. 45 seconds left on the clock, and Jax finds the first 5 versus 4.
They have to push straight through and try and run the risk. Haji gets one, but the trade comes back into effect. But Jax, he was always there as the lifeline, the net below him to catch anyone that tries to fall through the cracks. And he will do the damage he needed to do. It's all left on Nilzinho. 30 seconds left to play, but he needs to find these kills, and he's being overwhelmed at this point. They start to push in, finds their headshot, but the response is there. Peterskel with the Mag 7 shoots him into next year.
Exactly that. This round, equalising the scoreline 5-5. The question right now for Method is, do you force into this one with the money you have left over? You can have 3 AKs, I believe. Or do you save this one, go for a Tech 9 armor buy, allow EnVyUs Academy to have the advantage? No. Method right now, they want to go all guns blazing. It will be the 3 AK buy, the 2 Tech 9s as well to finish off the buy. That's going to be the MP9 from Hadji. So Hadji right now, he expects an eco coming out from Method. He thought, as I did, Method were going to go for a quasi-buy, an eco round, concede this one, and have a full buy with AWPs and full utility into round number 12. Instead, though, the force buy comes out from Method. That could be catching EnVyUs off guard.
Lots of utility being burnt through early from Method here. They don't have too much left in their reserves either, so it's a huge investment into the round. And Petty skill up close and personal like this in close range combat is going to be so annoying with a Mag 7, but he didn't get the headshot, just the tag off. It staggers Weber, sure, but it's not quite a frag. And him going down is going to be very impactful into this late round.
Exactly that. Smoke goes out towards platform. Jax towards Electric. It's flashed off the angle. Lambert with just an AWP as well towards window. The worst gun possible to have in that scenario. He will fall back, but Jax falls in.
Jax tries to go for the play. Should be an easy dink on Stanley, but he's struggling. The choke is on display right now, and Weber overpowers him.
Does indeed. VKL now towards stairs. Has to go huge if they want a chance to win this one.
VKL needs to strike. He was hunkered down like a sentry gun, but he was inaccurate. He couldn't find the frag nods. Hadji, once again, is the last man left standing. The lone wolf, miles out of position.
Exactly that. Low HP onto Weber and Stanley, but nevertheless, it will be 5 players staying alive right now for Method as Hadji does save. This means money for the Method side should start to build now, having 5 alive. For the CT side, there you can see 2,200 to Lambert. So if they go for the force buy into round number 12, how much money does Hadji have actually? He has 0, so he can jump over a UMP, I guess. But even then, you're going to be seeing a FAMAS onto Lambert, MP9 on Hadji, UMP as well onto another player, and then 2 pistols to fill out the rest of the buy. So the money is awful right now in the camp of Team EnVyUs. As we go into round number 12, Method go for the audacious force buy. It pays off, and now from having the 2 Tet9s, they pick up 2 AKs, and Weber retrieving the AWP means they won't have to invest into buying that up into this round.
It'll be interesting to see who they actually opt to give free reign with the AWP as well. Obviously, one of the big staples of Method is the fact that everyone can wield the weapon to an exceptionally high level, but they all have different aspects in how they do it.
Depends on the map. I mean, Mirage, we see Weber AWP. Usually it's Jenko or Pulse because they play more aggressive with it, but actually in this scenario we saw on Cash, Nilzinho playing that supportive style AWP, holding the angles for the pushes. And right now, it's looking like he's doing the same. Nilzinho, the AWPer, into this round. Playing passive towards late, is holding for a push towards long and a push towards middle. But unfortunately for him, no one will greet his AWP scope just yet.
Holding their ground for the meantime. Once again, it's this heavy early game where they just try and burn through whatever defenses EnVyUs have, get the early tags off and burn through utility they have, so they can't really effectively delay you into late round. Only 1 smoke left on EnVyUs already. It is just the smoke on Jax.
Exactly that. No Kevlar onto Petascale, the Mag 7. Has to go all for nothing. The first shot from his shotgun. VKL spots out a few players. Molotov comes in for Jack. They will extinguish that with the smoke. He tries to get away.
Just try and back off, but he gets caught off guard. They play it smart and they're able to knock him out of the air. VKL as well, just hiding here as he's trying to pick out the right time with Eagle, but his teammates are doing work right now. He finds a headshot as well. VKL could be the lifeline that they need if he plays his cards right. They do have the angle, but he lands the tag.
Ooh.
Oh, that could have been brutal, but Nilzinho able to fight through it, stays alive, complete control of the bomb site. Hadji, he's always the last-ditch attempt into the round, but what can he do?
Exactly that. Deja vu into round number 12, as it's just going to be Hadji last alive with the MP9. Has a flashbang, could save that. It's going to be the full eco coming out from EnVyUs anyway after this one. And instead, he will eventually go down. So, you can see, typically, we see EnVyUs chirpy, happy, exhilarated, but here, they're looking fairly lifeless. I think the only poor body language I've seen was Hadji when he shook his head after it was like a, 14-10 scoreline, where they had the advantage. How is this EnVyUs side going to deal with defeat, right? They've won every single game. They haven't lost a map yet in the Elite Series. Once they start to lose one, will that cause friction in the team? Will that cause cracks and crevices to suddenly appear? And the question really is, how can they move on from defeat? Well, let's see if they're going to find it into this map. Who knows?
It's going to be a great question. I mean, right now, Method currently beating the normal average of how many rounds people have gotten off this team, making them look almost human as they try and get these entries. Jenko takes down Jax. Petyscale can retaliate, of course, but Stanley, he's got a lot of firepower inside of him. He's a very explosive fragger when he starts to get into his own game, but can he find these kills here? Struggling to dispatch these pistols right now. Even though EnVyUs had an incredibly weak buy, just working with measly sidearms, they're still doing damage.
Nilzinho now 22 HP, 1 shot, 1 headshot from any of these USPs will take him down in 1 bullet. Holding the cross now. Hadji, if he exits connected towards Rocky, should go down.
Nilzinho, locked and loaded, just waiting to unleash hell.
Same goes for EnVyUs though. They're waiting for the cross towards site. They're holding it. They know the T's haven't planted just yet. Flashbang comes out from Weber. This could be the cause now to rotate onto the site and try to get the bomb down.
Weber, he will snipe down Hadji. It's all left on Petty Skull. P2000 to his name and a dream, hoping for the absolute best into the round, but surely they do smack him down, and it will be Nilzinho to fire off the round. Takes him down. Did switch out to the AK. I imagine he is going to grab his AWP back as well, so he's still got that.
Obviously, he knows he's playing versus the eco of EnVyUs, sorry. He knows they have no Kevlar, so the aim punch would be so prevalent if he landed one bullet. That's why he swapped out from the AWP. And obviously one thing as well is he didn't want to give the AWP away in case he did die. So, penultimate round now on Cobblestone. Round number 14, 5-8 is the scoreline. Method now finally have the advantage into these games. Could be the AWP onto Lambert once again. 4 M4s actually to fill out the rest of the buy. Hadji now once again playing the same angle close towards A long in the cubby.
Pushing it up a little bit though on the angle's playing. Does go for the pre-fire. That just gives the game away. Unfortunately, it's not going to be our usual friendly neighborhood Hadji. Instead, it all goes wrong.
It does indeed. Pulls the trigger too early. The shadow scaring him a little bit. The jitters are starting to show. The pressure is mounting right now for the side of EnVyUs. They haven't lost the game yet. A map at that. And the fast rotate comes in. 3 players towards the site. No one towards B. It's going to be a 5 versus 4 retake towards this B bomb site.
This is the thing. The strongest half anyone's had against EnVyUs in the league so far is currently being displayed by Method, and they are still furthering their lead. Weber finds the headshot towards Jax. Nilzinho as well. Says Peekaboo as he takes down Lambert. It's just VK on Petty Skull left.
Yep. EnVyUs right now cutting their losses. They're going to go save into the final round. Round number 15. As it does go 9-5 right now in favour of Method. After losing the pistol, it's a complete stark contrast to what we saw on Cash. Weber won the 1 versus 4. He won the pistol for Method. And the final score was 10-5 in favour of Team EnVyUs. Right now we're seeing EnVyUs winning the pistol on 5 rounds. Method getting to 9. And right now they're in the running to make this 10-5. And if they do, we saw exactly what happened on Cash. EnVyUs finished and closed out that map. Can Method do the same?
Oh, they might actually spot them out as well. Stanley could find these kills here. Unfortunately, the angle is going to favour VKO. He peeks into him and gets taken down. Actually find 2 kills as well here. So not going to be that important. The T's obviously an abundance of cash, so they're not bothered. They just wanted to try and delay EnVyUs and stunt their growth of their economy, stop them from having any weapons into what is going to be the deciding round of this first half.
A 1-1 would be so huge right now for Method as well, right? You've got to take this into account. Currently, so far in the Elite Series, they've lost 2-0 to Method last week. Week prior to that, they went 1-1 versus Epsilon, so they're on 1 point. First week of the Elite Series, they went 1-1 versus Excel, so currently sitting at 2 points towards the bottom end of the scoreboard of the standings. They need to have the draw here as a bare minimum. They cannot lose 0-2 to EnVyUs. Otherwise, that could spell the end for themselves in the Elite Series.
Let's go here. We'll get the opener, takes down Stanley, so at least that is going to be quite an impactful frag early. Stanley, of course, always running rampant into these rounds, but the A site is completely open. They're playing that retake style. They have given away so much time here, so the bomb goes down in a matter of seconds.
Exactly that. The A site is notorious for being the hardest site to retake. And right now, the bomb goes down towards A. We're going to be hearing Hadji falling off towards boost, towards drop, sorry, and he could get a good flank in here. Jenko finds a frag and makes it 4-4, and a very difficult retake on the cards right now for EnVyUs.
We're talking about backstabs though. Jax is also one to keep your eyes on, but actually Nilzinho does exactly that, spots him out, and how this is when Weber is going to be so important to the round, does give himself away, but he's still able to find the frags, sprays onto VKL, Petty Skull follows suit. Everyone is falling right now. The boys in blue cannot stay alive. They are going to go down. Method get 10 rounds on the board on their T half as they are looking good, working their way through absolutely swimmingly.
You can see why that site is so hard to retake. You saw Jenko there towards tree, just opposite of wood, towards A long. You can crossfire, have a perfect crossfire of the player on site. You then have a player towards mid Nilzinho of the AWP. He finds the frag on Jax coming from behind. He can instantly then peek towards connector, towards the hobbit hole or mini. And right there's just too many angles where the CTs have to push into a held or crossfire angle from the Ts.
I love the calls on A site Cobble.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. I do feel quite stupid saying tree, wood.
1 wood.
Yeah, 1 wood, 2 wood.
Good old wood.
1 hobbit hole as well, hobbit. Jesus.
Some good names there, mate.
It's a major champion now though, of course, so you can't really be saying too much there, but in this pistol they could just close this one out hard and fast with a 13-5 scoreline. Then again, it will be EnVyUs on their T side. If EnVyUs get the bomb down, get that cash injection, even if they lose the round, make it 11-5. Eco that round, make it 12-5. Have the strong buys come out there, there's a chance, but We saw the first pistol go in favor of EnVyUs. On Cash, the pistols went 1-1. On Cobblestone, will it be the same? It's going to be the 4M, well, I was going to say 4M4 set up there from the T's, doesn't make sense. Forces of Kevlar from Team EnVyUs, and then utility, double flashbang and a smoke onto Lambert, and Nilzinho buying an HE and kit. So no smoke grenade, they can't go for the smoke defuse versus the Glocks. They're going to be going towards the Beast bomb site. It's looking like a fast speed split here, Jack.
It's going to be very interesting to see how this actually comes to fruition here. The nade has already been dispatched, no damage done. So unfortunately that short fuse doesn't actually help them.
Exactly that. No frags found towards the A site means that Method CT defense towards A will not budge, and they're going to be ready. But as I say that, Petisco finds the first. We're into a 5 versus 4, and Stanley's dinked up.
That's created a massive rift in the team as well. They absolutely obliterate the mid area of the map. They can storm their way through Connect to take control of A site without anyone batting an eyelid. Weber will actually come down a ton of bricks on top of Hadji as he does find the headshot as they get left in a 4 versus 4. But still, this retake is so incredibly hard. They need to be at the best of their ability, and they are taking tags all over the place.
2 dinked up players. We'll make it 1 now as Pulse does full. Kits drop towards Connector as well, so they can't salvage that one. They have to go for the 10-second defuse.
Indeed, just gonna have to run the risk and hope for the best in this scenario. But VKL will come into fold. Skull as well, takes down Stanley. It's all left on Weber. He has been known for his clutches, but even this is way too far-fetched. Looks like they're actually trying to go for the knife into that as well. They take them down. Opening pistol on the board. This is good. 6 rounds now secured. We're looking at them starting to work their way through, get themselves to 8 rounds, and try and play the real game from there.
Exactly that. The real game obviously being the buy rounds. The rounds that determine victories and losses. So, 6 of 10, pistols go 1-1. Actually, no, EnVyUs taking both pistols. The scoreline really doesn't do it justice, right? You see 5 rounds on the board, you think Method have won the pistol, they won the first bar, and they had the advantage, but no. They lost the pistol. They ecoed or force bought and won versus EnVyUs when EnVyUs were on the CT side, but now they're on the T side. They win the pistol, the second one at that. Scout coming out from Weber. CZ onto Stanley and Nilzinho, PT50 onto Jenko. Pulse with the Deagle, so Kevlar only onto Jenko. Method realize right now they have a 4-round advantage, right? Why would you force this one? You don't need the rounds. You need the utility and firepower into the first buy round.
Talking about firepower as well, Pulse will pop off as he dispatches Petisco there. There's a nice little opener, gives them something to work with.
So 5 versus 4 right now in favour of Method. They have no Kevlar though, unfortunately, into this round. Maybe if they force bot, there could be a chance, but you still have to favour the EnVyUs side. They have the SMGs, they have the utility. You can see 0 grenades right now on that CT side.
That's the thing as well. Those SMGs in close range like this, he might be able to tear his way through both of the defense in a matter of measly seconds. Glides through the air as well, as he is going to swing in like Spider-Man, but they do take him down eventually.
So, it's going to be the B split. The bomb being retrieved right now by Jax. Tag lands. Flick doesn't though.
He gets the tags off, but VKL will spot his head out and pop it straight away. Jenko now left in a 1 versus 3. P250. If he was able to get himself into an effective range and actually get the tags off, it might have been manageable. He will find that kill back and towards Hadji. Tries to get the Mac 10 as well. Jenko, he can go for this. He's only got the armor. He might as well invest all his chips and hope for the best.
So, trying to go for the spray down with the Mac 10, not really the best idea because, yes, you will get $600 for the frag, but obviously 8 bullets to the chest versus the 4 of the AK. Basically, have a 50, well, not even that, 25% chance to win that, but anyway. It's going to be the force round lost by Method. Well, I say force round, only 1 player buying armor, which means you can see there 2,100, 2,500 as their average across the board on the CT side, which means they will be able to buy M4, Kevlar, and extra utility. This is the reason why teams go for the double eco after losing the pistol. It means they can have the full utility into the first buy round, round number 19. So this is going to be the eco round coming in from Method, a round where EnVyUs have to stack as much cash as possible, have 4 or 5 stay alive, pick up all the frags with the Mac 10s, and have money going into the buy rounds.
Lambert peeks out, has the Mac 10 to play with, will realise the location of the Method players, but he gets dinked down actually, he's forced to fall back as well. So they try and push him, want to capitalise off the back of the early damage they've done. They heard that sound cue, but Hadji was ready to respond.
He was indeed. So once again we see a 1-man advantage for EnVyUs. Lambert dinked up, has the Mac 10, so it's not really the end of the world for him. Hadji as well with that SMG trying to find himself a frag. He does just that. 5 versus 3. So far so good for the side of EnVyUs. And look at that. Frags being found for the SMG, exactly what you want. 3 kills with the Mac 10, that's $1,800 into his bank account.
So easy for them. Zinio and Jenko, the only two men left standing, and they are falling as fast as possible. VKL will come in, finds the opening headshot, and it's just left on Jenko. Out in the sky, of course, is going to be Jax as well. He spots him out. They have secured all those 3 rounds, essentially, off the back of their pistol now.
Exactly that. 10-5 with the scoreline now, as EnVyUs have won both pistols into this final map here. Question is, if they have an SMG salvage, do they bring it into the next round, round number 19? So, Neilzina there on your screens. Given the calls as to what to do on their CT side, who's going to be playing the AA setup? It's going to be Jenko and... Dun dun dun, no one else. So it's going to be a solo play towards A. They expect a fast rush towards the B bomb site. And it's looking like EnVyUs is setting up the smokes to come in to rain towards the B bomb site. It's going to be the rush towards B. A good read here from Method.
Sprinting their way through, they're going to burst out as fast as can straight away as they glide on towards the site. But Stanley gets the opening frag, takes down Jax. They also get an early dink off as well. That's the frag now being connected as Stanley runs rampant, tearing his way through Haji. They have 3 players left standing. Some terrifying T's left alive, but what can they actually do here? Snot's going to go for the counter boost play. Lambert gets put up by Tree. This could be so critical. If they're not aware of this, he should be able to get at least 1 free kill on the board and stay alive. It's such an effective angle to try and strike from. Gets the opening frag. They now realize it, but he doubles it up as well. Takes another man down. That is massive. Equalizes the situation massively. It went back into the favor of Method, but all of a sudden, it's coming up EnVyUs at this point. Weber needs to clutch this.
Weber now on the 1 versus 2 has no kit to use, no smoke as well. And actually might just cut his losses. Picks up the smoke grenade, rotates back around towards Connect and will be conceding this one. So actually the sayers come through from a 5 versus 3 even. Stanley spraying 2 players through a smoke. With the 2-man disadvantage, the boost coming out from Lambert finds 3 frags. And the 2 versus 2, the T's, they have the sight. And from there, they don't allow Method to come anywhere close. Weber once again shaking his head. You saw how fast he was to concede that as well. Frustration maybe, because he had time on the clock. He had a smoke grenade, a kit. One of the players was dinked as well, but he instantly went for the save. It could be a sign that he's fairly ticked off.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, the buffer they had as well, essentially gone at this point. This round should be a doozy for Endpoint, as they just don't have... But sorry, for EnVyUs even. It's too much for Endpoint, mate. But for Method, obviously, they don't have too much to play with in their bank. You look at a couple of pistols here. EnVyUs at this point, equalize the scoreline 10-10. Method then are really going to struggle to respond. A massive investment into this as well, so the cash is not going to be strong.
Potentially, I think they actually are saving this one. Can we see the money really fast, please, Sliggy? So yeah, they're gone for the quasi-buy into this round. Just obviously Weber saving over the M4 flashbang and smoke, and the kit as well. So it will be Weber and Stanley with Kevlar. Apart from that, no one else having armor on that CT side. And just CZs, Deagles, and P250s. Once again for EnVyUs though, it's going to be a 5 AK setup. No SMGs for them this time round. And no AWP as well brought out for Lambert, so it will be the 5 AK setup. Maybe they're expecting versus the 4 spy, but luckily for them, these CTs have no Kevlar. This should be a 10-10 scoreline.
VKL trying to take down Stanley here. The flashbang will go over, allows him safe passage towards the bomb site, but he's getting tagged up, gets very squishy, and Stanley is able to rip his way through with that CZ. The armor-piercing rounds take him down ever so swiftly. Hadje, though, responds like a madman as he starts to punch back. Neilzini up close and personal. All that does is make it even easier for Lambert to kill him.
Does indeed. So, 4 players alive right now for the side of EnVyUs. Weber went for the 1 side, well, 1 man towards A, 4 towards B. They went for the stack, but unfortunately for them, having no Kevlar proved to be their demise. Bomb exploding. 4, well, make it 5 rounds now, 1 in a row for that T side, and these rounds have been fairly clean as well. We obviously had the 2 versus 2 in the previous one, but EnVyUs having 4 alive now versus the quasi-buy coming out from Method. Their money is building. The same can't be said for Methods. They will be able to buy up into this round. Round number 21. Question is though, will they bring out an AWP? And if they do, who's going to be warding it? Will it be Neilzini on the CT side, or will it be Pulse or Jenko towards the A side?
It's really important to see what decisions they actually bring to the table. Obviously, that AWP role inside of Method, it's always hard to pinpoint exactly what they want to do with it. Very different personalities, very different style of AWPing that's always on the move, constantly being switched up. And right now, both teams only requiring 6 rounds to be able to close this one out. If EnVyUs do pick this up, that's going to be a smooth 2-0, continuing their streak of domination. They have not won or lost a single game. They have dispatched every team they've played against so far in the Elite Series.
Exactly. So far, after 3 weeks, it's been a clean sweep. Jenko peeking towards mid and Jax. Jenko just peeks for a second, and in a heartbeat, he will fall. It's going to be the 1-man advantage right now for the side of EnVyUs, and they potentially have the A site as well. Neilzini rotating in through balcony. He's going to try and hold the line towards middle and towards long, but in a 4 versus 1, he can't be favouring him here.
Definitely not. The push going to come through. Nilzinho just trying to stay alive, but Nilzinho goes huge as he starts to rip his way through. Nilzinho, that's a hat trick coming out. He had to do something unthinkable into the round to give Method a chance, and he did just that. It's a 2 versus 3 snod. The bomb down an awkward location. Nilzinho also has backup now in the form of Pulse.
Lambert right now terrified of Nilzinho. Peaks comes out, he knows exactly where he is towards default, but he has to be anticipating the rotation to come through.
Good, but they still need to play it slow and play it smart. VKL comes in, the supporting factor, the actor that could be the difference maker. VKL finds a headshot towards Pulse. It's all on the hands of Nilzinho, but his head peeks into the crosshair of VKL. He will fall. Weber left with 2 softened targets. They are easy for him to take down if he can find the frags, and he has the Molotov and the kit.
Heartbreaking scenario now for Method after having the massive hat-trick frags coming out from Nilzinho towards default. It leaves Weber once again in the 1 versus 2 as the kit, Molotov, double flashback, but no smoke grenade for this retake. Bomb ticked away as well. Low HP onto VK, that could be the silver lining here for him.
This is where Weber always excels. He has the Molotov, but he's not going to use the reinforcement on the side. Plays around the smoke, but he doesn't realize their location. They peek out, and they find these easy frags. He was so in the open, so many positions he would have had to clear, and he gets taken down.
Exactly that. Jenko giving away the advantage early on. Turns it into a 5 versus 4. I said you can't be favouring Nilzinho in the 1 versus 3. Or 1 versus 4 towards that site, actually. Finds 3 big kills towards the push. Stunts it. And then Lambert plays the patient game. He waits towards Wood. He waits for VKL to have the lurk through drop. Back towards Connector, towards APC. Finds the first frag there. And the second towards default onto Nilzinho. From a 4 versus 2. EnVyUs clinch it back. 6 rounds of the trot now on their T side. And now the confidence could begin to show. Method, they've been shattered by losing that round. And it shows in their economy as well. From the full buy, they're deducted to just pistols and already Weber finds the first though. So the op has been effective so far.
Yeah, the snap investment does pay off so far. Obviously glass cannon as well, so if he overextends, he could be taken down very swiftly if they get those tags off.
Exactly that. So, 1 minute 10 on the clock right now. 4 versus 5. Kevlar onto everyone apart from Weber with the op. Glass cannon AWP and Jenko as well. Speaking of Nilzinho, went huge in the last round towards the ace up, but Jax does find him, turns into a 4 versus 4, 1 minute left on the clock.
Completely bypassed each other there around the smoke. He had no idea that he was so close to him. Couldn't smell him, unfortunately, so he will actually be taken down. Leaves them in a 3 versus 4 at this point. Weber on the site has the orb. He went for the frag, but Jax so powerful.
He was indeed. Standing up, pushes through the smoke, catches Lambert off guard, finds 1 frag, can't get the second though. It's a fast reply kill from Jax. Turns it into Pulse. Being last alive, a 4K for Jax, but unfortunately for Jack, obviously the fact that Pulse is saving will take away any hopes and dreams of Jax finding a nice ace on the 22nd round. Instead, we go to the next one. 12 to 10 will be the scoreline as Pulse is currently saving. And look at the money on the CT side. They can buy up into the next round. So they went for the Quasi, the Eco, I guess, in this round here. They lose it. And now they're going to be buying up into round number 23, but still, from a 10-5 lead, they are now looking at a 12 to 10 scoreline, losing 7 on the trot.
Yeah, this is not a good situation to be in for Method. Looked like they had understood exactly what they needed to do, written out the path they wanted to take, and all of a sudden they have tripped, they've fallen over snods, they've grazed their knee, and it's just not going at all the way they wanted to.
Exactly that. So, let's take a look at the buy coming out from Method. Are they going to go for the double lot setup, or are they going to keep it single?
Who knows?
Yeah, nice guys. Jenko on your screens, one of the A players. We saw him, well, last time they played Cobblestone, he had 30 frags. But, oh no, actually, that was in Masters. That was during the week. That wasn't actually the Elite Series, but nevertheless, right? The staples of Cobblestone CT side for Method is Jenko and Pulse towards the B-bomb site. But so far, EnVyUs have kept going towards A, and they keep finding the entries towards that site. To this round, though, it's a fast play coming out from EnVyUs towards the B site. Lambert with the AWP throws a flash, smoke grenade towards the A site. It's going to keep 2 players there. So it's going to be the 3 versus 5 now as the execute reigns in towards the B site. Can Weber's AWP deal the damage it needs to hold off the push?
Smart Molotov gets Stanley out of the power position he was in. He has to jump off of tree straight away. Weber smoked out as well, but luckily enough, Stanley is still able to pack a punch, even though he's not in a great position. Finds these headshots through the smoke. Jenko also comes into play. Jax and Lambert are the last 2 men left standing, hoping to do something, but Stanley takes the fight straight towards him. Walks in with so much confidence as he struts his stuff, and it's left in the hands of Lambert. You can see him panicking, getting pushed from all angles, and Method do take him down.
That's what, 5 kills now for Stanley through a smoke? Just into this game. the last time, well, on their T side method when they went for the execution towards B, Stanley was able to find 2 kills through the speedway smoke. And right there, he does the exact same, but this time on the flip side, on the CT side. Actually, no. Finds one and then finds a second. Well, he was spamming the smoke and he still gets it. But nevertheless, it will be 12-11 right now. EnVyUs still the 1-round advantage. Method right now prone to being reset if they lose this one. Then again, they did have 4 stay alive, so their money could be fairly decent, but buying utility and whatnot does slowly dwindle it away. Anyway, round number 24 now. 4 AKs and an ult for the T side. And now we finally see the double up set up on the CT side of Cobblestone from Method.
Yeah, double ult coming out to play is going to be very, very impactful into this. They need to try and wield it correctly, though.
Exactly. It seems like double up setup right now is in the meta right now. GT, you'll have Kenny S opening towards A, Shox opening towards B, Virtus Pro, yeah, Pasha opening towards B, Snacks opening towards A. Trying to think of another team. SK, Cold Zero opening towards B, Fallen to open towards A. Let's see if NeilZeno can mimic a play like Fallen. I know he can't.
Unfortunately not, he has fallen himself as he goes down. Hadji will find that headshot that lays him to rest. Jax as well keeps it going as he rips his way through Pulse. He doesn't have much of a pulse now, mate.
Oh, you're giving it, mate. The wordplay coming out from you. If only Method of the same composure. 13-11 with the scoreline now. VKL lining up a nice crossfire, or not crossfire, but nice crosshair as they walk into a scope. Talking about scopes though, it's going to be Lambert finding the frag onto Weber. No CT players surviving, which means their money and their buy should be weak.
True indeed. Weak like a small lizard. Scuttling along.
Exactly that. You do love the crazy references, don't you?
It's very true, mate. Some crazy plays have been coming out into this matchup as well. It's been looking good. Heavy impact just internally. We're looking at massive impact frags across the board.
So, 13-11 with the scorelines. We're going to round number 25. Look at the buy coming out from Method, though. UMP onto Jenko, a lack of utility for NeilZeno, and a FAMAS on Pulse, and 3 M4s. And the money they have as well is 0. They've used everything they have in the bank to fall by this. You saw 9,000 onto Hadji or Lambert, one of the two, anyway. 9,000 to one of the T players, 6,000 across the board as well. So right now, EnVyUs, they can buy for another 3 remaining rounds if Method can still, well, it's a big ask, right? Method to win 3 in a row. Problem is, though, if they don't, all it takes is EnVyUs now to win 3 to get to ever so important 16th round.
Yeah, claim that 2-0, keep themselves steaming through, and hold on to that #1 seed at the top of the group stage.
I believe they still have the #1 seed, even if they lose this map, because they get the draw. They're on 13 points currently, but can they make it 15?
Yeah. And further that even more so, make themselves even further untouchable.
So far for Method on the CT side, they found 1 round. EnVyUs finding 8. Can they make it 9 though? Weber peeking towards B, platform, spots out the players and spots the bomb as well.
Oh, they actually push straight through the smoke. This creates an opener for Weber, but it doesn't quite go in his favor. VKL overpowers him, takes him down. Stanley and Pulse come into play, but they can't quite do the damage. It's all coming up EnVyUs as they sprint their way in towards the bomb site.
And now the after plant position could be so good for the T side. You got Lambert holding the flank. Smoke towards Connector, denying the push to come through. Smoke towards Electric as well, so Jenko could get no information.
Flashbang over blinds Jax at this point. The second flash is going to be the time where they have to strike. They bound out. They do find the kills. It's 2 men left on the side of EnVyUs, and Jenko only has a UMP to play with. VKL is low, but it's about Lambert. That is going to be the impact factor. A flash remaining in his pocket. But what happens is he receives a bullet straight to the cranium and goes down.
14-11 will be your scoreline now. Method forcing everything they had into that round. Trying to make it 12-13, but instead they fall short. They have the man advantage, but they let it slip away. And look at their money. They're going to be playing for overtime, Jack. They're going to concede this round. They're going to be ecoing round number 26, allow EnVyUs to get to round number 15. But one of the problems with ecoing this round here is the fact that this means EnVyUs can build up even more cash. And from there, they should be able to buy up for the remaining 4 rounds.
True indeed. They're looking good in terms of form right now. There is that crossfire set up towards mid where they're going to try and bait for each other. But will they fall for it? They actually do. They peek out. Pulse able to get the opening headshot, but they flick straight round. They take him down. Already only 2 members left on the side of Method. This is going to be match point at the bare minimum secured by EnVyUs now, as there is no way the CT defense could do too much else. Stanley actually does find 1 headshot, but that is going to be all he claims.
Exactly that. 2 frags is all they get on the eco round, as they are going to be buying up into round number 27 now. It's going to be match point 15-11 in favor of EnVyUs. So far, they've won 7 maps on the trot. Can they make it 8?
That's the thing. Back-to-back wins for them. They have been looking incredible in terms of form. And this is where they'll be able to further it even more at this point. The early aggression does come out once again towards Abbey Bomb site. They know they have a little bit of a buffer to play with, so potentially they just try and hit Method with something they're not used to, a shock and awe style play. Straight out, they try and go for the early face, but Lambert just receives the gift of a couple of bullets straight towards him. The smoke is going to go down by Stanley though.
First frag found for Method right now. Also, Lambert is dinked up. Went for the fast play towards B. Had the spawn, trying to take advantage of the weak CT side of it we've been seeing so far from Method. But Jax, the lurk player, the star player from EnVyUs, equalizes the numbers. But as I say, that Jenko comes in from behind and gets the trade frag. Same can be said for Peteskill as well, 3 versus 3.
Even though the smoke is down, they don't want to run the risk. They're not going to do the Bardolph burst and push straight through it. They will hold back for the meantime and try and play it smart. But Pulse up close and personal. He is going to be so key in the round here. If he finds these frags nods, he can delay them long enough that they can get the rotate over, try and play this at a smart level. But it all depends on the next move from EnVyUs.
Exactly. What is their next move? You got one player there, VKL, towards, well, outside drop, heading back slowly towards the A site. In terms of utility, they have a smoke, 2 Molotovs, 2 flashbangs. They can smoke connector here. They can molly towards Hobbit and flash middle and try and catch Pulse off guard. But Pulse playing the 1 for done position. He's going to hear these steps as well. They know exactly what's going on. We should be seeing a rotation from Weber here towards the A site, and we are 3 men now towards A for Method. Can they hold this 3-man attack from EnVyUs?
Pulse, they need to clear the angle though. He can go for the backstab into the late round. Stanley can play with him efficiently as well. They do have the flashes to play with. Pulse taken down ever so swiftly. Peteskill overpowers him as he sprints across the site, getting himself into a fantastic position. Stanley will strike as he appears out of nowhere. Says Peekaboo. Weber also comes into play. It's all on Lambert. The Molotov sends Stanley off to the Burns ward. He just has to overpower Weber now.
Weber now in the 1 versus 1. Lambert, no utility and low HP as well. 1 bullet from the AK will find him. Weber hopelessly spamming through the wood, trying to find the kill, but can't connect any bullets. No kit as well, has to go for the 10-second defuse.
He gets himself into the high angle. As soon as he taps that bomb, it will force the face from Lambert, but he's burning through so much time. Lambert is not going to play into his hands just yet. But it's such a long defuse. The peak comes out. Lambert will find it so close to stopping it and giving themselves a fighting chance to another round. But EnVyUs, they don't want to mess about. They close it out 2-0. Once again, not only are they that top seed right now, they are doing it in absolute flamboyant fashion.